Hey friends, it's Lisa from Habits and Home. Today I am sharing with you a simple farmhouse meal that I threw together for my family before church this morning. It's Sunday, rest day, and I really wanted to start having a nice family sit down meal after church. But typically in the past, we come home, we're hangry, we're looking for something to just shove in our face and get into our belly so we can go and chill out for the rest of the day. So I've really been trying to intentionally create a meal, a Sunday after church meal, to really be able to create some memories of sitting around the table on a Sunday afternoon, eating with our family, and then we can go and take a nap and chill out and relax and do whatever we want for the rest of the day. So I'm sharing with you the meal that I made today. It is a simple tuna casserole meal, and at first my family, especially my boys, they're not used to new things, and they look at something and they're like, oh, I'm not gonna eat that. Do your boys and your kids do the same thing? Mine do. Well, they sat down. I paired it with some Brussels sprouts, which I absolutely love Brussels sprouts, especially the way I make them. They're so good. But they came into the kitchen, they took a look at the casserole, and they're like, I'm going to have a turkey sandwich. And I'm like, no, you're not. You're going to sit here and you're going to have dinner with us because I've spent the morning making it and you're going to give it a try. And my kids are not typically picky. We have always just made them eat whatever we cook, and we don't give them a second option. We don't give them an alternative, no chicken nuggets or anything like that. So we sat down to eat and they loved it. So I'm going to share with you how I made it. Give it a try. See if your family enjoys it as well. And like I said, it is a simple farmhouse recipe. I don't even measure. I just dump it all in, cook it all up, and serve it. And that is personally my style of cooking. So I'm going to share the recipe with you. Give it a try and let me know how you like it. So even though it is a Sunday morning, I still follow my daily routine because my daily routine is to serve me and not the other way around. I am not slave to the routine. The routine is there to serve me. So I still follow it even on the weekends. So that includes opening up the windows, making my bed. Jared is not with me this Sunday morning because he has went to church early to serve in our church band. So typically he is on the other side of the bed making the bed with me. I'm folding up our pajama clothes, putting them away. I don't like leaving things out. It makes me feel accomplished to have everything reset every single morning, and I also reset every single night. So if you are someone who is not doing resets every night, I highly recommend going to habitsandhome.com and downloading my daily reset checklist. It is how I reset my home every single day so that my tomorrow starts over fresh. Okay, so I'm going to walk you through the steps to create this simple meal, and I really hope it inspires you to get dinner on the table for your family as well. So grab a big pot and fill it up with water, and while it's boiling, go and put your makeup on and get ready for church. Then you're going to come back, and after it started boiling, you're going to open up your bag of egg noodles and pour them in. While your egg noodles are boiling and getting al dente, you don't want them overdone, but just enough to where they're a little bit tender. You're going to pour all of your wet ingredients into a separate bowl. So this is your 2 cans of cream of chicken soup and your 16-ounce container of sour cream. So you're going to pour it all in, dump it in. I don't even measure. I like to just dump and go. That's how I typically cook. And dump it in, mix it all up. Then you're going to add in your salt and pepper. And like I said, I don't measure. I just know how salty or how peppery my family typically likes meals. So then you're going to chop up your onion. I think I put either a half or a quarter chopped onion in this recipe. Depending on how much onions your family likes, you can cater it to your desires. Okay, so then I added in my frozen mixed vegetables into the noodles, and then I drained them in my strainer in the sink. Now I returned everything back to the pot, and I'm gonna mix in the wet ingredients and stir it all together. It is already looking so yummy. So while I cook, I always like to clean up. I like to clean up as I go so I don't have a lot of mess at the end of my cooking session or after dinner to clean up. So I definitely clean up as I go. If you're not already doing this, you need to start cleaning up as you go. Okay, the next thing you're gonna do is open up your 3 cans of tuna and drain them in the sink, and then add the dry tuna into your mixture of your noodles and your veggies and your wet ingredients. If you don't like tuna, you can always substitute chicken, shredded chicken, canned chicken, fresh chicken, however you like it. You can definitely substitute that. You can even substitute ground beef or ground turkey for this. Any kind of meat will do, or you can do a veggie a veggie casserole as well. Okay, so I got out my casserole dish. I dumped it all in. I'm going to spread it out, and then I am going to melt a stick of butter on the stove and then add in my breadcrumbs. I'm using panko breadcrumbs. You can use old breadcrumbs that you shred up, or you can use chips. I've seen people use ruffle chips to sprinkle it on top. Whatever you like to do. I just like putting breadcrumbs on top because it gives it that crunch, and I love having that crunch on top to go with the noodles, and it really gives it that sense of childhood tuna casserole. I don't know, if you grew up having tuna casserole, you know exactly what I'm talking about, that crunch on top. So whatever your preferred crunch is, just add some butter to it, sprinkle it on top, spread it all out, and it will be absolutely delicious. All right, so now I'm going to set the stove for 350 degrees, and I don't like to wait until the oven warms up. I go ahead and put it in, and I'm going to set the timer for it to self-cook while I'm at church for 45 minutes. We're gonna wrap up getting ready for church. My son came up to me asking me if I could iron his shirt. I haven't used my iron in probably, I don't know how many years, 3 to 4 years. I just like minimal wardrobe that doesn't require ironing. So you can see right here, I do not even own an iron board. I just lay out a towel. And I'm actually glad that he came to me asking for me to iron his shirt, because he typically doesn't care what he looks like, and he is starting to care. So praise the Lord for little boys who are starting to care about their looks. Okay, so before we leave for church, I like to clean up everything so that when I walk back into the house, the kitchen is clean. I do not like returning home when the kitchen is dirty, and this is like the gift that I keep giving myself. It is just something that you can bless yourself with by leaving your home clean for you to return to it. And it makes me feel so much better walking in the door to a clean home, to a clean kitchen. It's a gift that you can give yourself. And before we leave, I head on out to the chicken coop and give them the leftover waffles that we had yesterday that the kids didn't eat. I love having chickens that we can throw our scraps to. It is so nice to be able to do that and not to have to put all of our food to waste in our trash can. All right, so we just got back from church, and I am going to add some Brussels sprouts as a side to our tuna casserole. I love Brussels sprouts, and I love the way that I make the Brussels sprouts. So I'm just gonna cut them up into bite-sized pieces, kind of like eighths, each little Brussels sprout into eighths, and then I'm gonna add soy sauce. Now, my family kind of complained and said it was a little too salty, so next time I'm gonna get a low sodium soy sauce, and then I add some brown sugar to it and just pan fry it. It tastes absolutely wonderful. And then of course Jared comes in and joins me in the kitchen as well to help. I love Sundays because it really brings all of us together. I just want my kids to have those memories of mom cooking this nice meal on Sunday after church, and then we're able to go and rest and chill out for the rest of the day. Oh my goodness, it looks so yummy. I wish y'all could taste this. I really hope that you have been inspired to get dinner on the table for your family. I know that Sundays, especially if you go to church, can be hectic, but I know that it's going to be worth it. All it does is takes a little bit of prep work and a little bit of planning ahead of time. That's why I always try to meal plan. So on the weekends, on your weekend reset, try to meal plan. Okay, so now we're gonna clean up. I don't like to leave a mess. I can't fully relax unless everything is already put away and cleaned up. So I am just going to use a smaller 8x8 or 9x9. I don't really remember the size of this pan. And go ahead and take the leftovers and freeze them for a meal that Jared can pull out at any time when I'm not home to cook dinner. It's really easy for him to pull out and stick in the oven. So that is what I recommend that you do with your leftovers. If you like simple farmhouse meals, as well as seeing the habits that we use in our home to help us live a farmhouse lifestyle, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel. All right, I'll see you right here next week at Habits and Home.